Good morning, good morning. You are all welcome. Welcome to Phos Gathering. Uh, let's wait for some few minutes and then we move ahead to start our meeting today. Such an honor to have you here. Thank you. Exactly at 10:10 today, I will officially start my presentation for our gathering today. So we are still waiting small for the community to join, and then we take it from there. Yeah, exactly at 10:10, I'll start my presentation today. So we are waiting a little bit for the community to join, and then we take it from there. Exactly at 10:10, I'll start my presentation. For all those who are joining us, you are still welcome. Welcome to Phos Gathering, the Gathering of Light Bearers, the Gathering of Light. It's such a privilege to have you here. I'm thesambaaku, and I'm grateful that you have joined us today. And I'm grateful that you have joined us today. So, like I said, exactly at 10:10, we have 1 minute to go, and then we kickstart our conversation exactly at 10:10. Okay, it's time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Phos Gathering, the Gathering of Light Bearers. It's such an honor to have all of you present here today. I am greatly privileged to have you on board. I can see Dorcas here, I can see Rabah here, I can see Kelvin here, I can see John Andre joined, the Mimshak anointing joined. Such a blessing. Thesambaaku here. It's a privilege to be connected to the builders community today. I want us to perform a task, and that will be a simple task. I hope everybody can hear me loud and clear. If you can hear me loud and clear, put I in the chat box. If you can hear me loud and clear, put I in the chat box. Get the chat box. Make noise in the chat box for me. Okay, I can see Evelyn saying I. If you can hear me, put I in the chat box. If you can hear me, put I in the chat box. Okay, I can see Kelvin saying hi. Kelvin, I said put I. If you can hear me, put I. I means I am. Put I in the chat box. Great. It's such a great privilege to have you. This is Phos Gathering, the Garden of Light Bearers. In the next 50 minutes or so, I will be done with my presentation today. Today being the first time we are coming together as light carriers to have a conversation. It's such a blessing to have those of you who are on board with me here. I am greatly privileged. The next few minutes, I'll be sharing with us some of the most important tools, systems, and nuggets that I have found in the course of my journey. And then I want all of you to pay attention. One of the most important things that I always say is that what have your attention have you? What have your attention have you? So we as builders, it's important that we pay attention to what have our attention, because eventually we'll get to the place where the thing that subdues us, the thing that runs over our thoughts, the things that consistently comes to our mind will become who we are. So I want you to pay attention and give me your rapid attention for the next 50 minutes. And I'll be done with my presentation. Roughly by 11:05, I should be done, guaranteed. I should be done with my presentation. I should be done with my teaching. And today being the first time, for all of you that joined, it's such a privilege. If you are not part of my team and you have joined earlier, I have a special offer for you too. So guys, welcome on board and let's get the ball rolling. So before I start, I want you to write something in the chat box for me. I want you to write something in the chat box for me. I want you to type, what have my attention will have me. What have my attention will have me. I want to see that in the chat box. You can add a fire emoji. You can add a laughing emoji. You can add any special emoji that you love. What have my attention have me. What have my attention have me. I want to see that in the chat box. What have my attention have me. What have my attention have me. I want to see that in the chat box. I'm not seeing it. What have my attention have me. I want to see that in the chat box. What have my attention have me. What have my attention have me. I want to see that in the chat box. What have my attention have me. What have my attention have me. Great. It's such a privilege to gather together again, like I said. And today being our first meeting, there are some important nuggets that I want to communicate across to us. There are some important nuggets that I want to communicate. Great. What have my attention have me? Great. That I want to communicate across to us. But first, I want to introduce who I am as a person to us so we get to know who I am and the person that we are dealing with. For majority of you here in the community that have joined for some time, I'm the thesambaaku. I am privileged to be the convener and the carrier of this vision at hand. One of my favorite quotes in life that I consistently share or I consistently agree on is the quote that says that in a state of despair, our fight will be to find hope and inspiration in one another, to look up to the pathfinders, those whose bounty embodies hope and light for our future and darkness. I strongly believe that in our world and in our living, the most important thing that we have gathered on board is that the most important thing that we have gathered on board or we have to look at is the people that have gone ahead of us. I am somebody that I'm privileged that I embody the language, or I speak the language of fatherhood. So I believe at every point in time, somebody becomes an inspiration. At every point in time, somebody becomes the major reason why we do what we do. And it is so important. So today, if I am starting this gathering, then it is important for me to also share with you that it's such a privilege and an honor to, to join together for us to communicate this wisdom and knowledge that I have learned over the years, right? Such a privilege and an honor. Number one, I am a visionary leader. Majority of you here know me as a light bearer, which you call me always, and I respond to. I'm a CEO. I Preach Media. I Preach Media is a Christian media conglomerate. It's a new media house. Also a privilege of Nest Group. It's a human capital development company. And then the thesambaaku Inc. We'll be adding another media group very head soon. And it's such a privilege. Over the years, I've been able to speak to touch the life of many people and engage with a lot of young people that are building in their journey of entrepreneurship, in the journey of building a career. I've been able to engage all of these people over the years. And today being here, it is a years of accumulation of resource, knowledge, and nuggets that I want to be able to share light with or come to us with that will bring a level of transformation in what we do. My skill expertise, I'm a serial entrepreneur, like I said, building I Preach Media, building Hello Builders, building Very Head, building all of the media houses. I'm a media enthusiast, so I love media. Anything that is about media is like a heartbeat for me. So I look more into media, branding, marketing, advertising, and all that. I'm a transformative leader. Over the years, my lifespan of work and leadership experiences have been able to impact many. A fundamental speaker, if I say a fundamental speaker, I believe I'm one of the speakers that I speak to the core of issues. I speak to the core of issues. I don't necessarily hold on or cap when it comes to speaking to the very little things that matters, the very little things that matter. So I believe I am such a person. And then also I am an expert builder. So for those of you who are in my builders community, you know it is Hello Builders. And then we respond Hello Builders too. It's such a privilege and an honor, like I said, to have you here. We continue with our presentation. So if we say Hello Builders, what the term I have been talking about all of these years, what is it? So the Hello Builders is more or less like a generational platform that we seek to amplify the voice of builders, fulfilling the call to create and transform. We are putting together a group of people, a scope of people, people with an understanding and a people that have the desire to build. And we want to amplify the voices of these people. That is the main subject matter for Hello Builders. So if you see us and my team always speaking about Hello Builders, putting together builders, the main aim or the main agenda is to be able to get young people that are building anything, entrepreneurship, career, business, anything that a young person is building. We want to put us together, create a generational platform, and that platform will be able to serve as a voice amplifier. We see builders as people that are called to fulfill the mandate of creating and transforming. We see builders to be people that are called to fulfill the mandate of creating and transforming. So if you are in any creative process while you are listening to me, you are a builder. If you are in any creative process, you know, in our world, when we say somebody is a creative, automatically in our minds, we relate it to somebody who is in a graphic designing field. But you see, the amount of design work it takes to create a business makes you a creative. The amount of work that it takes you to build a career, design the career choice or the career path that you envision, that makes you a creative. So we see creative people as builders, people that are on the journey and have passion and the quest to fulfill something. This whole initiative started with my team in I Preach Media way back in 2020. we decided to start building a career pathway for my team. And then this build up this, and then we are able to see that, okay, in our travel through the universities, the tertiaries, holding events, speaking to people, I realized that there is a need to build the capacity of people for them to be able to build what they are envisioning to build, or what they think is their purpose, what they resonate with. So that made us build this platform. I am rushing this because I'm just giving an overview. My main presentation I want to talk about is there. So I don't want to waste all the time here. So over the years, we are looking at building people in that regard. This year in particular, what we are doing with Hello Builders is we are running a tour. We are running a citywide tour. So we'll be visiting your city very soon. If you are in Takwa, you are in Kofodia, you are in Kumasi, you are in Accra, if you are in Cape Coast, if you are in Winneba, we are coming with a Hello Builders event. And this event that we are coming with is a boot camp, right? It's a boot camp, 5 hour, 6 hour long reasoning. And last year, we had a 5 hour long boot camp in Takrade. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I am trust that we will enjoy this year's boot camp. Okay, so that is it for Hello Builders. Now let me get to the subject matter of my game. I said give me 15 minutes. Today is Phos Gathering, the gathering of light bearers, and I'm going to talk about the Builders Toolbox. The Builders Toolbox. If you are here with me, I want you to type in the chat the Builders Toolbox. I want to see that, the Builders Toolbox. I want to see that in the chat. The Builders Toolbox, the Builders Toolbox. I want to see it. I want to see it with a fire emoji in the chat. Let me get your energy. Let me get your energy. I want to see it with a fire emoji. The Builders Toolbox. I want to see it with a fire emoji. I want to see it with a fire emoji. Great, great, great. I love what John Andre has posted. He has added the light bearer. Yes, he has added the light bearer. He has added the light bearer. He has added the light bearer. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the Builders Toolbox. The Builders Toolbox. Yeah, Dorcas, thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. So I proceed with my presentation. And this is a bold statement I want you to know. The presence of light does not mean darkness won't function. The presence of light, it does not mean darkness won't function. The presence of light does not mean darkness won't function. And I want to explain to you, but before I explain to you, I want you to also type in the chat box, it is a lie. I want to see this. It is a lie. It is a lie. Type it in the chat box. Give me some energy. Give me some energy. It is a lie. It is a lie. Type it for me. It is a lie. It is a lie. The presence of light does not mean darkness won't function. Yeah, it is a lie. I can see Rabat typing it. It is a lie. Docas, thank you. It is a lie. It is a lie. Yeah, JJ Code, thank you. It is a lie. It is a lie. Okay. So I want to take you on the road, on this roadmap. We have always heard that when it comes to light, the moment light appears in a place, darkness leaves. We have always heard that when it comes to the functioning of light, the moment light appears in a place, darkness leaves. That is what I am letting you type that it is a lie to. It is a lie that you have heard that anytime light functions, darkness won't be present. I want you to think about that. It is a lie. What you have heard consistently, that anytime that there is light, it means darkness won't function, is a lie. Because for me, I strongly believe that the presence of light in a human being's life does not really demand that darkness will leave. The main reason is this. Light is an embodiment of revelations and knowledge. It's an embodiment of insight. But you see, before light came, darkness existed. And it is because of darkness that any man needs light to spread or shine on. It is solely because of darkness. If a man is not in darkness, then there is no need for that man to receive or have light. The problem of our generation that makes me think that there can be light and still darkness will function is because there are a lot of people that have light and still don't know what to do with it or don't act on light. So in my first presentation, my admonishment to you is that I am going to share nuggets of light to you. But that light will not become light in your darkness if you don't put them to work. I want you to think about that. That light will never become light in your darkness if you don't put them to work. There is somebody who can stay in. There is somebody who can stay in. There is somebody who can stay actually in light, and because the person is blind, will still not see. There is somebody who can stay in light, and because the person is blind, the person will still not see. So I am going to give you a body of light, a function of light, a function of knowledge. But the truth of the matter is that what you will do with this light will determine whether darkness will completely be dealt with. If you come to the point where this light does not work for you, when this light is not put into practice, it means that you constantly stay in darkness. I want you to type again. Today we are going to type the whole day. I want you to type again. I want to feel the energy. I won't stay in darkness. Type it for me. I won't stay in darkness. I won't stay in darkness. I won't. I won't. I won't. I won't stay in darkness. You can type it as many as you can, as a number of times as you can, that you won't stay in darkness. You won't stay in darkness. It means that you will put light to work. You will put light to work. It means that you will make sure light functions for you. I like it. I won't stay in darkness. I like the energy. I won't stay in darkness. Paul is saying he won't stay in darkness. Light is coming to us. I won't stay in darkness. It will only take a doer not to stay in darkness. It will only take a doer. If you are just a hearer and you don't put all of these things I'm going to say into practice, you will forever remain in darkness. So it is a lie that you have light and think darkness is gone. It's a lie. It's a lie. Okay, I'm going on to my presentation. Now, when we talk about the builder's toolbox or the builder's toolbox, what are we saying? You see, in my journey and my work, what I've learned that for every builder, there are essentials of things that you need or things you have to amass in your camp that is able to cause you to thrive. I have a concept that I explain in my mentorship process. It's called the build, create, and thrive, the process of a builder. First is an ideation stage. This is where somebody takes his time to create, plan, put the thing on paper. And then now we go to the creation stage where now we transfer what is on paper, what is on plan into reality. And then now we get to the thriving stage. That is, we get to the stage where we are building upon it or causing it to grow. In all of these processes as a builder, one of the major things or the important things you need in your journey is your toolbox. So I think of a toolbox as an imaginary steady container that holds essential tools, a fusion of practical and then craftsmanship, right? It is, just imagine that it's a toolbox for you as a builder in your life. There is this box, right? Imagine that this is a box that holds essential tools that help you in your craftsmanship. For a builder, for you as a builder here, that you are building your way up to become an entrepreneur. You are building your way up to become a career woman. You are building your way up to become the CEO of that business. There is, in your circle, there have to be a toolbox. And in this box are essential things that helps you to thrive. Now, if you look at the word toolbox, in the early centuries, the word toolbox was developed from a French language background, right? And this background, the meaning of this toolbox, that is actually I'm talking about today, the meaning of these toolbox that I'm talking about today, let me mute the person. It's a combination of two words. This toolbox is a combination of two words. It's a combination of a word that is from enlightenment of instruction or implementation, or another word called having, that also means to prepare, right? That also means to prepare. So for a toolbox in the ancient time, we are looking at an old English word that signifies or typifies instructions or implementations, and then also a word that means to prepare. So for the builder, when I talk about a toolbox, I'm talking about the necessary instructions or tools of implementation that is helping you to prepare for your journey. I said they are the necessary tools, the necessary instructions and implementations that is helping you to prepare for your journey, right? I define it as the tools and the resources that aid a builder to successfully fulfill the call to create and transform. I say the primary role of a builder is to fulfill the call to create and to transform. That's how I see it. I see that as your primary role. That is what you are built for. That is what you are caved out for. So having a toolbox at your corner is very important. It's essential because it's from this depth that you be able to fulfill what you are called to do. Fulfill that thing you want to build. Without this, it is impossible to build what you want to build. It is impossible. So the builder's toolbox. Let's go on. The first tool that I want to talk about today is one of my favorite subject matter on earth: living with an edge, finding your whys in life. A great a speaker once said that if purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. In our generation and in our time, one of the conversations that we have to consistently wrap our brain and mind around it is living with an edge. Living with an edge. Your edge is arsenals that you have amassed that gives you advantage in life. They are arsenals. They are things that come to your box as a builder that gives you an advantage in life. So you most of the time hear people say, this guy has an edge over this. When we put Cristiano Ronaldo and we put Messi there, I can see Paul here. When we put Cristiano Ronaldo and we put Messi there, now we say Ronaldo now is the highest paid. Why? Because Ronaldo has an edge. He has scored the most goals. He has broken a lot of the records in our world that Messi has not broken and other players have not broken. So Ronaldo have an edge over Messi, have an edge over Mbappe. Sorry for the football lovers, the people who are not football lovers here, because I'm seeing Paul here, I want to move to him. So the edge are arsenals that you have amassed. As a builder, I said there are tools, but your edge is your advantage in life. And these edge are the reasons for your existence. I said if purpose is not known, abuse is inevitable. For your journey as a builder, one of the important things you need to clarify and be clear on is your purpose. Why are you building? Why are you building? There are a lot of people that go on a journey based on assumptions. There are a lot of people that go on this building journey based on theories that are not real in a real life. So it is important that your first quest will be to actually wrap your head around the place of why you are doing things. And when you are able to find out these things, they become your advantage in life. They become your edge in life. You want to become a CEO of a multi-trillion company. You want to become a CEO of a multi-million company. You want to become a CEO of a multi-billion company. Why do you want to become that CEO? The moment you're able to figure that out, it becomes your edge in life. There are a lot of people that are living in this world that have energy and drive, and whatever they lay their hands on, they are able to replicate it. They're able to bring it to life. They're able to cause it to come to bear. It is simply because these people have identified the key point that becomes their edge, their reason for existence. So for a builder, the most important thing you pay attention to is why I'm here on earth. Why are you existing? It is the pivotal point. Why are you existing? It's a question you have to keep asking yourself. If you are here, you want to build a business. The first question is, why do I want to build this business?
If you are here, you want to climb up the corporate ladder, you want to become a CEO of a multinational company and become one of the top-notch spoken about consultants, why do you want to get there? For a lot of people, because we have not found our leverage with our edge and why we are existing, we experience shipwreck. Let me throw a bomb. Let me throw a bomb. Let me throw a bomb. The bomb I'm throwing is this. There are a lot of people here, or a lot of builders in our age, young people who start things and they don't finish. And the reason they don't finish is because they didn't know why they started in the first place. So I want you to soak that in. They didn't know why they started in the first place. They didn't know why they went on that course. Now you have started examining your life. I can see somebody who is now patiently looking at his life and saying, this looks like me. Why did I start this business and I lost interest in just 2 days? Why did I start this path and I lost interest just in 4 days? Why? Because the reason for starting this was not solid. So for a builder, what your greatest edge is right now? How do we find this path to living purposefully? Finding our edge. How do we find this path? I have put in together what I call my 4 circles of purposeful living. And it's going to be a great ride. So pay attention to me. What have your attention will have you today? What have your attention will have you today? So if you look at my 4 circular quadrant, my 4 circle that I've displayed, at every point, it has to do with a question. Because I believe that the most intelligent of this world are people that ask intelligent questions. And the people that thrive in this world are people that ask questions in order to get solutions. So for every thought and idea about my life, I approach with questions. For those of you who know me well, if you come to me with any case study, you come to me with any problem, I will probe with questions. So they say there is a saying that Ghanaians are people that they answer question with question. Then I'm a typical Ghanaian because most of the time the question people ask are because of intent, and I ask questions in order to get intent. In life, you have to be somebody who questions everything. You don't just believe everything. Everything you are told you believe. No, you fail easily. Question everything. In order for you to know your edge, this is the first question you have to ask yourself. What can you be best at in the world? What can you be best at in the world? This speaks of your skill, your talent, and your abilities. The way I believe the human philosophy or the human bodies or the human psychology, everything put together, I strongly believe that no human being does not have an inherent skill or ability. I believe that because of the usage of purpose and the reason why people are existing on earth for the cause of continuous creating to make the world a better place, because of that, nature have it, God have it in a way that every human being is embedded with a skill. So your first pinpoint to discovering this purposeful living is your ability to discover your skill. In our age now, one of our sections in the month, I'll talk about skill stacking. One of the important topics that is very dear to my heart. It is important in our age that you look at your skill. What are your skill sets? What are your abilities? What are your talents? There are some of you here, you are very good at singing. There are some of you here, you are very good at communicating. There are some of you here, you are very good at presenting. There are some of you here, you are a good team builder. There are some of you here, there are different things that come on board as skill. You see, in our time when you are talking about the craftsmanship of skill, a lot of it related to people that are doing craftsmanship. So if this person is a seamstress, fashion designer, if they say she has a good skill, if the person is a good artist, can draw well, if the person, people don't even realize that the ability to mobilize people is a skill. People fail to recognize that the ability to just put people together is a skill. So it is important to be able to identify what your skill. Look within you. I want you to take a pen and paper, your notebook, and then write, what type of skills do I possess? It's one of the greatest gateway for you. What type of skills do I possess? Now when we move to the skill set, the quadrant 2, in order for you to achieve purpose, try to identify purpose as a builder is what you are deeply passionate about. What are you deeply passionate about? This is where we talk about what you care about. What you care about. One of the misconceptions I have seen in our time and in our age is that there are a lot of people that just focus on what they are passionate about. So you meet a young guy, he spills out his business ideas and talk about all the things he wants to do. Then you ask, why do you want to do it? They say, I'm passionate about it. It's a good thing. Passion is one of the things that gives sustainability. Any man that is not passionate about what they are doing, watch them, they won't stay for long. Passion is a driver. So you have to look at your life. In order to discover purposeful living, you have to look at the place of passion. Skill set, passion. Now, let's move on. Now we move on to what is the meaning of life to you. You see, there are a lot of people that are living life without any philosophy. Anything that is sold to them, they accept. As a builder, you cannot accept anything that is sold to you. Your life's philosophy. It is so important that you look deeply within you and be able to come out with your personal philosophy about life. If you look at me, one of my greatest philosophy is that I'm a light bearer. Anywhere I stand, any area of darkness shouldn't see darkness again. It is one of my philosophies. So when I encounter man, when I encounter a human being, when I encounter a business, by the time I have left, there should be a revelation. There should be an insight. That is one of my greatest, deepest life philosophy. That now becomes my drive. So you look at your skill set, you look at what you are passionate about, you look at your philosophy. If you are here and you don't have a philosophy or an approach to life, a certain approach to life, then I'm telling you, you will not be one of the greatest builders in our time. If you want to build what will last, if you want to build one of the greatest business, look at the business philosophy. It is so important. It is so important. When you come to Hello Builders, I mostly tell my team that we are a knowledge merchant business and we seek to spread light for people in order for them to build what they want to build. That is our deepest secret. The reason we won't give up on that vision is because we hold that secret dear. We hold that secret dear. So what is life meaning to you? It is important to define the meaning of life to you. A lot of us in this gathering now have all our philosophy hinge on what others' expectations are. It's a lie. It won't work for me. It's a lie. It won't do this for me. It's a lie. This won't work for me. No man has ever done this. And that becomes the deepest place from which you operate. The moment you start coming from that point, you should know that you're on the road to failure. People that have built in their highest state, what I call the elite zone, are people that have life deep intrinsic philosophies about what they do. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about in this section is important, right? The last thing is, what are your economic engines? Please take time for me here. People have skill. People are passionate about things. People may have a lot of meaning to life philosophy, and yet they don't have economic engines. When I talk about economic engines, simply I'm talking about what brings cash flow. Purpose is attached to money. I am one of the people that believes that we live purpose hinged on money. Money plays a critical function and a critical role in everything we do as builders. So it's important that in discovering your path to build, in discovering the journey to build, you have to look at your economic indicators. You see people that have only passion, and yet this passion cannot give money. You are here. What you are seeking to build is an NGO. An NGO that is non-profit. You're not looking at any funds from anywhere. You want to run it by yourself. And you want to thrive only on that. Where is the place of skill? Putting these 4 circles together, I believe help one to be able to identify their edge, right? So when I look at my skill, I'm good at speaking, I'm good at writing, I'm good at influencing. These are my skill sets. What am I deeply passionate about? To be able to carry light. I care about people and what they are building. What is my life philosophy? I want to be a beam of light. What is my economic engines? I can write a book. I can shoot YouTube videos. I can organize paid events. This is how we live the edge in life. This is how you live an edge. If you are a builder, it is so important that you pay attention to this 4 quadrants, these 4 circles, sorry. Now, I'm continuing. If you have a question, I think you can still put your question in the chat box. Or when I'm done with my presentation, I'll leave just 5 minutes for us to go through any question. So if you have a question, you can still jot it down. Welcome to the light zone. I'm still moving on with my presentation. I hope if you get me clear, let me see 111 in the chat box. If you get the first side of my presentation, leaving an edge, let me get 111. I mean 1 3 times, 111 in the chat box. You can add the light bearers emoji to it. 111 in the chat box. If you get me clear. I'm not seeing your 111 coming. If you get me clear, okay, great. John says like he gets it clear. Paul, thank you. 111 in the chat box. 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 I can see Nathan, you have raised your hand. I believe it's a question. So when we get to the question section, I'll allow you to ask your question. Okay, Kelvin, 111. Okay, great. Now, we are going to the next 2 in our presentation. So the first one is living with an edge. The second tool you need in your box is a language of mastery. Today, I'm just going through this. I'm going to take the next 6 months and I'm going to break all of this thing down. That's what I'm going to do with our monthly gathering. This Phos Gathering is purely a monthly gathering. At the end of every month, last Saturday of the month, we will meet together and then we are going to have these conversations. Mastering your edge. You see, mastery is the language of kings. For anyone who seeks a higher top-notch place in life, you have to understand the language of mastery. A lot of people don't do well, and it is because they have not mastered anything. The realm of kingship belongs to people that have built mastery. So you can be doing anything mediocre in our world and you will never be recognized. If you are here and you are a Christian, scripture says that a man's gift will make room for him and will bring him before kings. In the olden days, ancient time, there's a practice of the Jews. The practice of the Jews is that anytime the king needs anybody for service that has to do with craftsmanship, they go about looking for the best in the whole providence. The best are people that have built mastery. So, in anything that you seek to build, one of the 2 you don't have to forget in your toolbox is the place of mastery. Kings only understand the language of mastery. You can come to the realm of kings if you have built mastery. There are a lot of us that we desire and seek to build genuine things that will transform the world, but we don't take the time and the patience to develop and build mastery for the things we want to do. Guys, are you here with me? As a builder, the place of mastery is one thing you are supposed to uphold in high esteem. And there is a reason I have come down and relaxed at this area, because the subject matter of mastery in our age is one thing that is so dear and critical to my heart. In our age now, we get people that want to do mediocre things. We get people that don't want to strive. It's like they don't want to be stretched till they realize that they have reached the elasticity level. And the moment in the course of your building, you have that mindset of not building mastery, that is the place where you will not understand the place of kings. There are some of you here that you want to build businesses that will span around the world. It takes mastery. Look at the life of Bill Gates. There's an interesting movie about his life story, Inside Bill Gates, on Netflix. When you are watching, the hours the man at his age now, at what he has built, take to read. He abandoned himself to his island and he takes time to sit with his library and enjoy books. If I was you in our age now, if I was Paul in my age now, if I was Clifford in my age now, if I was Dorcas in our age now, and we look like Bill Gates, we would have stopped doing the things we were doing. But you see, he understands the language of mastery to the extent that he believes that at every apex in his building, he has to take his consistent deliverables that will pitch him to his highest self. If he's not delivering at the level at which he is seen, then he cannot be relevant. The place of relevance are for people that have gathered the arsenals to build masteries in their age. If you are here and you seek to build a business, you seek to build a life, you seek to build a ministry, you seek to build a career, one of the places that will make you excellent in your dealing is a place of mastery. No boss will entrust a graphic designer who don't obey his time. No boss will entrust an executive assistant who don't obey his time. We are working on a project. No business will engage a man who is not consistent in his dealings. So one of the tools that as a young builder you have to be thinking about is your consistent deliverables when it comes to mastery. I say mastery is a language of kings. I want you to type that. Let's type that also in the chat box. I want this thing to stick. I want it to sink. Mastery is a language of kings. It's a language of kings. Type that for me. Mastery is a language of kings. Mastery is a language of kings. Mastery is a language of kings. Thank you. Mastery is a language of kings. When it comes to mastery, there are two things that I see as a builder. And that has to do with the place of execution. You know, mastering your edge is an important thing in our age. For you as a builder on your journey, when you are able to develop your skill set, you're able to develop your passions, you're able to find out your meaning of life to you, you're able to find all of these things. Now, these things put together become your edge. Now, what help you master your edge is the ability to build mastery. What help you to master your edge is the ability to build mastery. If you don't have mastery, your skill will not see any daylight. Your passion will not see any daylight. So in your toolbox, one of the greatest things you need is mastery. Now, I see mastery as execution. Execution is at the speed of light, time, and frequency within which a thing is done. There are a lot of you as you have received some of the greatest insights. You have received some of the greatest insights into business ideas. But because of mastery in the level of execution, you were never able to implement it. You couldn't. Mastery is how things are done at the speed of light, the speed of time, and in frequency. Now, you have to understand that for everything that comes to us by our world system, the universe has it that it honors time. Time is the unit of life that a man has. Time is the unit of life that a man has. Anything you are building exists in the framework of time. Now, I didn't add the time curve to it. Anything starts at 0, it hits its apex, let's say the apex is 100, and it declines back to 0, or it continues back to 1,000. And all of this actually depends on a man's execution mastery. In our age, one of the things that you find it very lacking is people that have built mastery of execution. We want to do this project. We have to be there in time, and we are not there in time. We have this idea. We will do analysis paralysis and be analyzing, and we never implement it. We forget that time is not in our domain. Time is in the domain of creation. Time is not in our domain. Time is in the domain of creation. So as a builder, one of the critical things that you have to work with is time. You know, in time, you understand seasons. Let me break it down. In time, you understand seasons. Who knew that a world and an age was coming where cryptocurrency will become the talked about. If myself and you, we knew now that Bitcoin's price is sitting at 50,000 US dollars, would have bought Bitcoin in 2008 when it was released. Time, seasons. One of the things that is going to be one of the greatest catalysts in your builders, is when you are a man of season and times. Every man that has mastered season and time is a good executor. I've taken time because I want this to sink in. I say pay attention, because what have your attention have you? Every man that have mastery over times and season is one of the greatest executors. Like I've said, look at the age that we are in now. The introduction of social media, did we see it? Even wealth creation, the transfer of wealth, I have studied that from one point to the other only comes as a result of timing. There was a time that it was a computer age, and a man erupted. A man came out, that was Bill Gates, and he led that season, and he became a billionaire. In the universe, there was a season that we needed time for connectivity, and a man like Mark Zuckerberg erupted. He led the season, and he became a billionaire. There were times that people were thinking about innovation pertaining to electric cars, and a man like Tesla, a man like what's his name, Elon Musk, it came out and he became a billionaire. What season are you coming out? What time are you coming out? As a builder, what season are you coming out? What time are you coming out? It is so crucial and important. It is so crucial and important. When you understand your season and your time, you become a perfect executor. And that is what will give you your leverage in life. You see, your edge in itself cannot perform unless they are tied with mastery. And one of the things that I want you to master, because I've seen that is the problem of our age, is execution. You need mastering execution in your toolbox. After you leave here, one of the things that when you wake up have to be your confession is that I have mastery over execution. There are some of you that will have business ideas that you will take to the grave. And it's not a curse. You have not mastered execution. You have not mastered it. Mastery is the language of kings. There are some of you here that 10,000 million US dollars is waiting for you, sitting there in project. You just have to take the step forward. You just have to take the step forward and be able to assess that you can never get it because you have not mastered execution. You see, what brings you to the table of kings is mastery. Your skill can take you there. Mastery will sustain you. Maybe you didn't hear that. Your skill, your passion, your economic engines, the things that are your edge in life, it will take you there. Those tools in your toolbox will take you there. What will cause you to stay at that place and be relevant there is your execution. Did you think Warren Buffett would decide to give 100,000 US dollars to you to undertake a project if you have not learned to execute a project in time? It's not possible. Kings. If I say the kings of this life, you understand me. The top men, the top notch, a king like myself. You cannot work with me if you don't understand execution. And execution is in the spirit of time. Now, the spirit of frequency deals with the energy of the human spirit. I'm going to teach something here, so pay attention to me. It deals with the energy of the human spirit. The spirit of frequency is such that any idea that comes to you as a human being, there is an eruption of a spirit within you that functions in a particular season. So there are people that receive a light of an idea, and then you have the zeal and the passion to go about it. Now you sit down for 3 days and it never comes to pass. Frequency. You don't understand frequency. If you are here and you master the intuition of frequency, you will excel. You will excel in your building. you will excel in your building. Okay, I said I'll come back the next time and then go ahead. One of the critical examples I can give you is Nokia phones. They didn't understand mastery. One of the biggest companies that came into our world. They didn't understand seasons and times. Smartphones were coming. They were sticking to 3310. When they decided to move, they didn't understand the spirit of the age, the frequency in the age. What has happened to Nokia as a company now? One of the most sought after company. They didn't understand the language of kings. Now, one of the next step I'll talk about here is life mastery. And I'm ending my presentation. Life mastery. Please, when I meet a man, what I look out for is how well his life is organized, not how well his vision is organized. Because the organization of a man's life determines how his vision is organized. Daily activity. As a builder, there are some of you here, you wake up the time you want, you sleep the time you want, you do anything at the time you want. And the truth of the matter is, you won't yield any result. No result will come to your abode. Because why? You don't understand mastering life itself. Mastering life means it is embedded. The small ingredient of it is embedded in your daily activity. For every builder, before you be able to build to the apex of what you want to see, show me your daily activity and I can tell you how far you will go. I will not be a slave to my emotions. I want you to type that in the chat box. This message is for somebody here. You will not be a slave to your emotions. You will not be a slave. Type that for me. I won't be a slave to my emotions. I won't be a slave to my emotions. There are some of you that everything that you do is on the precipice of your emotions. You do like you feel like. You do like what you feel like. They say, do what you feel. Please, we don't do as we feel. If you want to be a builder that will build in a top notch and be in the place of kings, understanding mastery means you have to master all the 4 quadrants around you. Your emotions, your psychology, your persona, your character. And this is embedded in your daily activity. I say if I meet a man, his daily activity will show me. Now, I want to give you a small exercise. Those who have Netflix, I want you to go and watch Steve Jobs' Apple story and look at how the transformation of the business is embedded on the small activities and actions they took. Do you know that for people who are using Apple users, just your fingerprint that is running around the screen of the phone is an information that Apple needs to change and innovate their product. Small things, small daily activity. Small daily activity. One of the things that will help you to build your apex is life mastery. Don't allowing things to rule you, rule life. Build mastery over life. This subject is a subject that I will tackle in April, my birthday month. And I'm going to show you my blueprint. I've designed a blueprint that I've used over the years concerning how to build life schedule. So one of the tools you need is mastery. In mastery, you have to pay attention to execution. You also have to pay attention to life mastery. Now I'm going to my last slide. And then I'm closing. My last slide, and we are done. I have just a minute to finish my presentation. The time I gave is up. The area of new knowledge. You see, today, I think Nokia is the ish. I don't know why Nokia has become the ish for my presentation. If you look at a business like Nokia, we all know the business has completely fallen off. Now, they've sold the business. The day they sold the business, when the CEO was giving his remarks, he cried and he said, "We didn't know what happened." How will you know? How will you know? How will you know? In our generation, we lack the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. The problem with it, even that strikes my heart, is that in our generation is a generation where philosophies are sold as easily. A lot of people here are just sold on the philosophy of social media. It is just what social media presents to you. You see somebody in a Lamborghini, and all you want is a Lamborghini. Philosophy sold to you. And our rate of adapting, if you are a builder, you need the place of adapting. You see, because the world operates in the time frame of time, and time deals with the unit of a man's life. And this unit of a man's life can be quantified as the unit of life what you are building. Seasons and time pass by. And as they keep passing by, the men that will thrive are men that have adaptability as a tool. You have to learn to pursue new knowledge. There are some of you here that they've started, you're a graphic designer. They have started talking about artificial intelligence, AI, and you say, oh, leave it, it will pass. You'll be there. Sit down. You will spend 4 hours to design, and now create that design in 1 second. Adaptability, your ability to learn and relearn and unlearn, pursuing new knowledge. But there are some of us, pursuing new knowledge seems so hard for us. But the only way we can thrive in what we are building is when we have the skill of adaptability, when we are able to adapt. Seasons go by, times pass. Men that adapt are men that will stay. Today, I don't know, I'm speaking the language of kings. People who want their craft to be seen, people who want their workmanship to be executed, to be exhibited. You are here, you are a fashion designer, you want to appear the snowball, and then people will sit in high places with your work. It has to come on a price, and the price deals with the tools you have amassed. So it is time for us to start approaching new knowledge, learning of seasons, learning of times, having the ability to learn, to unlearn, and to relearn. It is so important. Guys, thank you so much for your time. My time is up. And like I promised, even though I've used 2 minutes of your time, my time is up. I wanted to use 15 minutes. I've used 52 minutes. I'm sorry for that. My time is up, and I'm going to end here. And then I'll open the chat for questions for like 5 minutes. If there is any question, you raise your hand, you unmute yourself, and then you shoot your question, I answer. And then we end our first edition of Phos Gathering, the gathering of light bearers. Thank you. Such an honor to have you here. All right. Is there any question from my presentation? If you have a question. Okay, I can see John. I can see your hand up. John, unmute yourself and go for it.
Okay, thank you so much for this opportunity.
You're welcome.
Please, I wanted to ask. So say you are pioneering a new move or something, and when you're pioneering, you don't have maybe references that have gone ahead of you in the light of where you're going to. Okay. How do you craft yourself such a way that you get to the top when you don't have people who have gone before you who are doing what you are about to do?
Okay, so one of the greatest things that yeah, John, I went off. I said I needed a minute because my laptop went signaled me of a low battery, so I had to put it on charge. I'm back. Okay. All right. So if you have been called for a move, right? And you see that there are no pioneers in that move, it means that you are the pathfinder for the move.
Okay.
Now, what you have to do is that there are similarities in visions and assignments. So at every point in time, when God commissions something into your hand, the issue is that the issue is not that there's nobody who is doing that, or when the universe give you a vision to pursue. The issue is that there's nobody who is doing that. In your scope of dealing, you have not yet met some.
what you have to do is start working. Now, when you start working, what you have to do is to pick inspiration from diverse type of environment. So if I say diverse type of environment, when it comes to competition, we have direct competition and we have indirect competition. Indirect competition is when the person is not directly associated with what you are doing, but the person's work still affects what you are doing. I hope you understand me. John, I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Yes, please.
Great. So then what you have to do is that you have to still find a path of people that's journey is a semblance to what you are doing. You have to find that path. So let's say you have seen that you want to create a warehouse with creative artwork. And this artwork looks some way that you think there is nobody in the world that is pioneering such a thing. So you become a pathfinder because in your environment, nobody is doing that. You become a pathfinder. But you have to find inspiration in other people that are doing artwork that is not just the same. Now, mentorship comes in at so many levels. People give direct mentorship. People give indirect mentorship. There is somebody who is supposed to mentor you on your finance. Somebody who is supposed to mentor you on how to think about your ideas. Mentorship must not be just direct impact on what you are doing. And a mentor must not necessarily do what you are doing to mentor you. Now, how do you also build a framework? You build a framework by instinctively connecting to the inner self that gave you that vision. This is so important. There are a lot of you here that have visions, but you are lost because you are not connected to the spirit of the vision. I think in one of our sections, I have to deal with that. The spirit of a vision. It is so critical and important. When you are intuitively connected to the spirit of the vision, the openness, the vision opens for you to enter into its realms and you are able to execute. Don't detach from it. I don't want to go too much with that, but I think this will help you. John, I hope this is okay for you. Is John here? I think he has left. Okay.
I'm here, Super Jake.
Yeah, I think this is okay for you, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. I see the hand of Robert up. Robert, let's shoot your question. Let me stop sharing. Shoot your question.
I didn't hear what you were saying.
Pardon? Robert Agana, shoot your question. I see your hand is up. Okay. Okay. All right. Who is here with a question again? Our time is up. Who is here with a question? I'm taking questions and then we'll be off today's meeting. I have just additional 2 minutes. Okay, great. If there are no questions, then it means that you have understood my presentation today. This is going to be our monthly event. And the link, as usual, is only going to be in our Telegram community. We thank God that we're able to have you here today to listen and to be blessed. At the end of every month, we are going to consider coming to you. I think there is a new message. We are going to consider coming to you. Agana's question. Yeah, I was waiting for him to ask, but I don't think he's here. He can ask if he is here. Then I continue. So we are hoping that our Phos Gathering will be a monthly gathering that is going to gather us as light bearers, as light people wanting to build, to be able to connect to each other, and then also to be able to reason and learn every month. So next month, I'm going to pick the first economic engine, talking about scale, first purposeful living, the second one, talking about scale. And I'm going to deal with that extensively, how to develop a skill, how to look at your skill, how to identify your inner potentials. I'm going to deal with it extensively. All right. Thank you so much. All right. Agana, you can shoot your question. I learned you have a question. I'm almost done. I'm closing. So if you can hear me, shoot your question and then go.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
I joined this, but you were saying if you meet a man, what to look out in the man is how his life is organized, but not how his vision is organized. So I want to understand, like, what is the difference between to know how his life is organized and to know how his vision is
Okay, so
organized and what it means.
if I meet you as a young builder today, one of the things that I'm going to look at mostly for is how you have organized your life. The reason being that how your life is organized affects how your vision is organized. I'm here to see a man who have life intact, and yet his vision is in a mess. So what business do you do?
Please, I'm a fashion designer.
Okay, great. Have you woke up in a day before that you had no mood to go and sew, and you got to the shop and you didn't do anything and you came back home? Did you hear me?
Please, the line is not clear on my
Okay.
side.
I said, have you woken up in the morning, walked to your shop, and then had no desire to work? You stayed there lazy, and you came back home. Has that happened to you before?
Yes, please, I have it.
Great. That is what I say is the organization of your life. If your life's embodiment and energy is on its frequency to operate, your vision is safe. I want you to get that. The moment in your personal life as a human being, you're able to put your life together, it means your vision is safe. The moment your life is in a mess, your vision is in a mess. So the ability for me to identify a man's mastery is when I meet you, I'm not looking at your vision first. I'm looking at your life first. I'm interested in your life and what goes on in it. It's a checkpoint for me. When you approach me that, okay, you want me to be an investor and do this investment for you in your company is good, I'll try talking to you. I want to see how you are talking. At a point in time when you are angry, I want to see how you behave. These salient characteristics of mastering life is important for me than you saying you want to build a vision that will be a multi-million business. How I've answered your question?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Great. Then I think that was the last question. Our time is up. Thank you so much. I'm really honored for having you. Just keep watching out. We have a podcast coming, probably second week in March. That should be next 2 weeks. My first ever conversation on the podcast will be live on my YouTube channel. I want you to go and stream it. We are bringing you knowledge that should be able to transform your life, transform what you are doing. And as usual, cheers, guys, and enjoy. God bless you, and bye bye. We'll meet at the other part of life.